So Marko, I'll get the difficult ones out of the way first.
Sure.
Coach of the Year, congratulations. Can you speak a bit about what that means to you, winning that accolade in the first year, and the team you've built around to support you in your endeavors?
Yeah, I mean, I look at that award as a team award because generally, coach that finishes first in the league would win that award. So it's really all of us that got the award. Obviously, the entire staff, but players are always the most responsible for any of that success. So I'm just grateful that I had this group of players and the year that we've had, and hopefully we can carry that on into the playoffs.
From Rookie of the Year, Midfield of the Year, and several other team awards across the board, and players being recognized, what do those honors say about the kind of club AFC Toronto is and players you've amassed?
I would say the same thing as the coach one. I think our individual success comes from us being a good group and winning and the environment that we've built. And from there, you get those individual awards, and they're always obviously nice. And I'm always happy for our players when they get them. But at the same time, none of that would have happened if we didn't do well as a team. So we gotta always keep that in mind and continue to do well.
Colby, you were named in the best 11 of the season, the year. Can you just talk a little bit, your first pro year as well, so what that means to you to win that award?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great honor. Like Marko said, it's due to like the players that are around me making me better every day, the coaches that are continuing to develop me and my style. So, I mean, it's all credit to them, and yeah, just thanks to whoever voted for me.
And then last one about the awards, because I know you guys are a humble group. And just to the players, can you talk a bit about Marko and him winning the Coach of the Year? Zoe, you played pro under a couple of different coaches now, and then Colby's your first year playing pro. Can you talk a little bit about his leadership and the standards he set, and then him winning that award?
Yeah, I mean, the coaches that are always the most successful, I find, are the ones that care about the details, and Marko is definitely one of those. That's all we talk about, and when you care about the little things, the big things will accumulate, and that's, I mean, I've only been here 4 months, but you can tell that the players and the coaches, staff, and everybody, that we all care about those little things, and they make the biggest differences.
Yeah, I agree with what she said. And then also, too, I think I've mentioned this before, but our staff and Marko specifically, they care about us as people, not just as players, which I think has significantly impacted me as a player. Like, I've come from places where it's like, yeah, it's mainly soccer. Like, you're there to do soccer. But I feel like with Marko, it's like he actually cares about you as a person, too, which is amazing.
Nice. And then just last one from me before I turn it over to the group. Team's been off for 2 weeks now. How have you guys been balancing for rest for a lot of the players and also making sure we're prepared for the first leg?
Very challenging 2 weeks for us because we've dealt with a lot of absences, something that a lot of other clubs didn't have to deal with, specifically Montreal, the team that we're going to play against. So we've had Emma, Esther away. We also had C away. Kaylee was away. And then we also have 2 players that are playing with the U17s that are also not with us, Olivia Chisholm and Melissa Kekic. They're doing great. Congrats to them. We hope they beat Brazil in the quarterfinal. But from that standpoint, it was a very challenging period for us to prepare. We've also had a few unlucky injuries that have come at a really difficult time for us. So for the past 2 weeks, we've trained great, but the problem was that we've had at times only 12 or 13 outfield players in training. So that's been a very, very difficult period, but we know nobody cares about that, and we know we're good enough to come out tomorrow and play our best soccer.
Okay, I'll open it over to the floor. Jermaine, I'm just going to assume you have questions, so I'll just kick it off with you.
Hey, morning, everybody. Coach, when you're facing a team now for the 6th and 7th time, like how is it difficult to game plan, especially for like a two-legged playoff?
I mean, it was always going to be like that the entire season, because once you see teams more than once and then more than twice and 3 times, I mean, we know everything about them. They know everything about us. I think it's about like what the players were talking about. We always talk about little details. They're going to decide the game. I think our job as a staff is to put them in a situation where they can be successful, and that's what we try to do. And then it's up to them to be able to execute, win their battles, something that they've done consistently throughout the year, and tomorrow should be no different.
And you mentioned some players were dealing with some injuries. Is there anybody not available for tomorrow's game? I know Kaylee, she wasn't able to participate in any games as well with her Team Canada call-up. Like, how's she doing as well?
We have a full list of players that are doubtful. I wouldn't say completely unavailable, but there are some that didn't make the trip. So Croy's out. She didn't make the trip with us. Kayla, same thing. Not here. Heiji, same thing, out. Jade is dealing with a shoulder issue. She's been dealing with that for the past month or so, maybe even longer. So she didn't make the trip, so she's out as well. Kaylee, as you know, was sent back from the national team duty. She's recovering. She might be available to play a few minutes tomorrow, but she's still not 100%. Same thing is with Esther, who actually played for Nigeria in both games, but had to come out in the second game because of a little pull. So she's not 100%. Anyone else? Am I missing anyone here?
Covered it.
No, you nailed it, I think.
I hope.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, so
I think that's it.
but
Jeez.
quite a few, you know.
And do you approach like a two-legged playoff any differently? Especially, you have the second leg at home. So I guess tactic-wise or even just strategy, do you game plan for a leg one different than a leg two?
No, completely the same. That's been the kind of our motto from the day one, from the friendlies all the way through. I don't think you can hide anything at this point from the opposition because, like we said before, we played them 5 times. They know us, we know them. It's not really about hiding anything anymore at this point. And I think teams that try to change too much at this point of the season won't be successful because it's too late. Kind of what you have is what you have. There could be maybe a little trick set piece or something like that, but overall it'll be very similar. And we're preparing for this game like it's a 1-game playoff. That's our mentality going into it.
Great. Thank you.
Anyone else? John Molinaro?
Thanks. Marko, congratulations on the award and the fantastic season. It's going to be your 6th and 7th look at Montreal, and the series was actually quite close during the regular season. I mean, how do you think your team matches up going into the playoffs with them?
I honestly think the difference between these 4 teams that qualify for the playoffs is marginal. You can see that even in the results. I mean, Montreal beat us twice, excuse me, in Toronto. We beat them twice here. In that last game, I know they've rested quite a few players. We didn't have everyone also, so you can almost scratch that one. So very, very even. And I think that's the case kind of across the board. Our series was even against Ottawa as well and against Vancouver. So very close, and it's really anyone's at this point.
Great. Thanks, and good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
I'll just ask one for Colby. We started the season against Montreal, and it's kind of seemingly that we might finish the season with Montreal as well. We finished the regular season with them. Can you just talk about, from a player's perspective, what it's like playing the team so many times and the Montreal rivalry, I guess you can call it?
Yeah, I mean, there's always going to be little rivalries just when you play a team that many times. Like, I feel like we have rivalries with every team now. But, but yeah, like Marko said, it's been an even matchup. So, they have a ton of talent on their team. We have a ton of talent on ours. So really, it just comes down to who's better on the day. And hopefully that's us.
And Zoe, you've only been here for 4 months now, but you've slotted in very well, an integral part of the team so far. Can you talk a bit about what that has meant to you being available for the team and your contribution so far?
Yeah, to be able to slide in right before, the second half of the season is always really great, especially when the team's already like top form or very close to. So that part of it, it's always easier when there's already, everyone's in stride, you know what I mean?
We dealt with the losses for you.
Yeah, no, thank you for that. I appreciate that. So, so that does make it a bit easier, but obviously like being able to, compete in, playoffs and championship games and things like that is always like what you dream about. So it was a really great time to come in and play. So it means everything.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Did we get the question?
Yeah.
It is in chat.
It's in there. Okay, perfect. Thanks, guys.
Look like it's Colby's.
Colby, fun question. As a California native, how are you liking this October, soon to be November weather?
She loves it.
Yeah, I love it. That's what I just have to keep telling myself that, But honestly, it hasn't been nearly as bad as like the January side of things that I came into at the beginning of the year. So I can't complain too much. I've dealt with rain in California. We do get rain. We get a little bit of weather over there. So yeah, hopefully it kind of stays here until we're able to leave end of November.
And the other question, biggest takeaway of first pro season?
I think just being consistent through a longer season. Like with college, it's like you really just had to lock in for 3.5 months. Here, this is like an 8-month season where every game matters, like every practice matters. So I think just kind of ensuring like consistency through that has kind of been my biggest takeaway. And then, it's been a blast so far. So I've been really happy with my first pro season.
How have you added your leadership to the squad? I think anytime you play in the back line, I know sometimes it says midfielder, but I guess it's just I have that whole side, so it's both. It's everything. But anytime you're in the back line, I think like speaking and directing the people in front of you is so crucial. And for me personally, it's a huge part of my game. So if you qualify that as leadership, then sure. But I think just the more confident the people in front of me can be at what they're doing and where they're going and the timing and everything, the more everyone can be on the same page. And so for me, I came in halfway through, so it's like people already have the dynamics that they do. So for me, it was really focused on, how can I be myself in this environment? And so I think just being really vocal and making sure everyone knows what's going on and what we're doing, and they're comfortable asking me questions and things like that, so we all can be on the same page.
I got a couple more. Excuse me. For Colby and Zoe, the defensive back line has changed pretty consistently throughout the season, but it definitely feels that Croy has been sort of a captain back there. With her being out, how are both your roles going to change, maybe to be more more heavily defensive for these next two legs?
I don't know if it changes as much, maybe just a little on the communication piece, just for those players who might not be in those positions as consistently, just ensuring if they need help or anything, just quick communication there. But honestly, I think we're just going to stay the same we have been. Those players that are now going into those roles for Croy, who's injured, for example, they know what to do. They've studied up on film. They're ready. So.
I thought you were gonna say aerial stuff. You guys combine 8 feet.
If I get on Zoe's shoulders, I think we're the
and
same height.
And then I jump at the same time. Yeah, I think Croy. Obviously, we're gonna miss her, and she is an integral part, especially when you have somebody in the back line with so much experience. That's always gonna be a hit, but the way that the team is structured, we all know our roles really well, and she's obviously been helping out the people that are going into those roles to make sure that they know what's going on. So I'm not sure for us it changes too much, other than what Colby said is communication and in those little moments, but we're confident in our teammates, and we've been working on it. So
great. And I wanted to ask about your your captain, Emma. I believe she didn't miss a single minute this season. I don't think I've seen that in any sport, any league, at least not to my recollection. Can you just talk about her leadership, and just have you guys seen that with a player not missing a single minute of a season?
Very rarely. I've seen it real close, but not like this. I think Emma, in the way that she is, in her leadership, and also just the way she is as a person, she's very consistent. She is very sure in like her process, and she's got it down to a T. Whether that's recovery, nutrition, just all those things, like all those little things are really important. And she does them to the best of her ability, and like obviously that does something. Obviously that does add up, and it's a great example for everybody, especially with a young team, to watch their captain understand what it's truly like to be a professional.
Yeah, I mean, she's just such like a calming presence on the field. Like, I feel like everyone on our team feels more comfortable when she's there, just as like, because she's such like a talented and consistent player. So yeah, just having her throughout the season, not miss a minute, has just been amazing. And she's like just such a talented like player and captain.
And I'd like not to get too ahead of ourselves, but there was the announcement about the Sevens tournament with some international teams. I believe Club America was one of them. How excited are you guys to possibly be a part of that tournament and just kind of speak to the overall growth of the NSL and the future of this league and where it can go to possibly, like other joining Champions League type of games with the NWSL, that type of thing, and just the overall growth of the league after the first season?
Is that for me or for the players?
Oh, for the players.
You can go.
Okay. I was going to say, obviously, yeah, like we're still focused on these games now, so we haven't put too much thought into it, but it will be exciting to definitely get like the NSL on the map with like tournaments like this. So yeah, we're excited to go. Florida will be fun. Yeah, once we get through this first, then we'll start to look at that more.
Yeah. I mean, it's a fantastic opportunity. So it's going to be really fun, and cool. Really get a look at different styles of play as well. Even though it is sevens, it's a really just overall a really cool opportunity.
Thanks, guys.
Did anyone else have any questions? Rebecca, I'm not sure if you had a question.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
I was just wondering that you've played 2 games in Montreal at the Stade Boréale, and you've won both of them. Is there anything that sort of builds into? I know it's, that's the past, but you seem to have such good luck in that stadium. Is there anything that, the sun's always out, or what makes it so that you can do so well at that place?
Is that for the coach or for the players?
I guess for Marko.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we won twice in this stadium. It's definitely not sunny this weekend. So, but yeah, we wanted the stadium. We won pretty much at every stadium we played this year. I think we have a win everywhere outside of BMO. That's why that one is kind of, something that we want to have potentially on the 15th if we get through the semifinal. But yeah, we're comfortable. We've been comfortable traveling in general. I think our away record has been absolutely incredible this year. And it's just something about us being together, traveling together, spending so much time together that's been a positive. I don't think it's so much down to the field that we play on, but it's more that time together that allows us to get even closer and really lock in before games.
Okay, thanks everyone. If you have any other questions, just email me and I will relay you the answers.
Thank you, guys.
All right,
Thank you.
guys.
Thank you.
Good luck.